It's here, the Wolf's Dragoon Assault Star for Battletech, a game of armored combat.
External camera, engage. Accessing.
Welcome to the Sagebrush. I am Headhunter, the sage behind the brush, and today we are going to look at the Wolf's Dragoon Assault Star Force Pack for Battletech. This is something that I received from Barnes & Noble. They are currently offering this as an exclusive. We were expecting that this would arrive December 15th based on what it said on the website. Yesterday, I got a notification that said that this was on its way and that it would arrive today. So it was a great big surprise to me. As I said, currently this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive offered through barnesandnoble.com in the United States. I don't know if they still have this available on the site or not. You can always go out and have a look. This force pack is fantastic. For those of you who aren't familiar too much with the Battletech universe, Wolf's Dragoons were a mercenary company in Battletech pretty much right from the beginning. When the clan invasion was brought into the game, it was revealed that Wolf's Dragoons were an advance force that had been sent by Clan Wolf into the Inner Sphere for reconnaissance. And their Khan, Ulrich Kerensky, you might recognize that last name if you're familiar at all with the Wolf's Dragoons. So what have we got in this pack? We've got 5 Wolf's Dragoon battle mechs. 5, of course, is the size of a star in the clan company structure. They have a star rather than a 4 mech lance. So what we have here are the Annihilator, a new Timberwolf, which you might know as the Mad Cat, but they call it the Timberwolf in the clans, a Rifleman, and a new variant of the Archer and the Blackjack. Now these all come pre-assembled. You don't have to put anything together. If you're the sort who likes to just put them on the table and go, great. They're great to paint up. They've got really nice detail. They're much bigger than the previous battle mechs that you might have seen throughout the 90s up until recently. They're not as skinny as some of the earlier battle mechs, such as the Strike battle mechs or the earlier medals. So we're going to take a look inside the box and see what we've got. Okay, welcome back. Let's go in order from lightest to heaviest. What we have here is the Blackjack. This is a 45-ton medium mech. It is commonly used for anti-aircraft and anti-personnel use. It has a pair of autocannon 2s. They have very long range, but they're not very powerful. Okay, so there's the Blackjack. It's actually not a bad mech. Next, we have the Riflemen. Those of you who are familiar, of course, with Robotech might recognize this as a different thing. The Archer, again, it's another mech that you have seen in Robotech. This is a very heavy artillery missile mech. So you have a pair of LRM-15s or LRM-20s on the shoulders, depending on what the configuration is. This is an alternate pose from the regular Archer. So now I have basically 3 of them. I have Morgan Kell's Archer, I have the Archer from the regular Force Pack, and then I have this Archer here. But that's okay. I like the different options. I like the different poses. I like the opportunity to paint them up as different factions. For instance, let me show you what I've worked on previously. And you can kind of compare to medium mechs. These are from the beginner's box. This is a Wolverine. Dougram fans, people who've watched the anime, might be familiar with this. 55-ton mech. Generally carries an autocannon or a large laser. And a shoulder-mounted missile launcher. This is painted up in the paint scheme of the Davion 3rd Brigade of Guards. I really like that blue color. I like the red and white stripe. People call it the tracksuit. We've got some Davion decals on the shoulder. And then the other faction that I paint up is Kurita Sword of Light. I think these are the 8th Sword of Light from the Draconis Combine. We have a Griffin with a PPC and a long-range missile, and then you have your Draconis Combine symbol with the J-Dragon in there. Anyways, the reason that I showed those to you, of course, is because once you get a number of mechs, you might want to paint them up as different forces so that you can loan some to a friend or teach somebody or have different options. So I'll probably paint one Archer up in the Wolf's Dragoons scheme, and I'll probably go with Natasha Kerensky's company and paint them up in black and red. The other one I'll probably paint up as Davion, and then one as Kurita. My favorite. the Timberwolf, aka the Mad Cat. I found that when I turn it around, for some reason the camera likes it better, so if it's upside down for you at the moment, at least you get a better look at it. 75-ton mech. Generally, the arm pods will contain PPCs, or large lasers, and then medium lasers. We have the shoulder-mounted LRM racks, and these are Omni mechs, so of course they can use different configurations, and that's something that you'll see in the different poses of the mech. You might see, for instance, Aiden Pride from Clan Jade Falcon has a Timberwolf, but it has completely different loadout. You see that in the Legendary Mech Warriors pack. Maybe we'll take a look at that at some other time. And then the pièce de la résistance, if you'll pardon my French, because I probably really butchered that, the Annihilator. The Annihilator is a 100-ton mech. It's kind of alien in shape. It looks kind of strange, got a bit of a pot belly there, but I'll tell you what, people can make fun of the Annihilator all they want. It's brutal. I use it in the Battletech video game. Generally it comes with 4 autocannon 10s or something of the sort. I've taken those out in the game and I've put in 3 ultra autocannon 10s, so basically it can fire 6 autocannon shots per turn rather than 4. Builds up a bit of heat, builds up a lot of recoil. If you're using called shots in the video game, you're going to basically headshot just about any mech that you choose, or if you just want to get it out of the way, you're going to core it with one salvo. I love this mech. It's kind of nasty looking. It's alien. It's a little scary, and it's pretty fearsome. The Annihilator was more or less exclusive to the Wolf's Dragoons prior to the clan invasion. They had found a cache that the Star League had left behind. Of course, the clans all knew where these locations were. They got the plans and they started building these in their factory on their World of Outreach. So there we have all of the mechs. You've got your Annihilator. You've got your Timberwolf or Mad Cat. You have your Archer. You have your Rifleman. And you have your Blackjack. Now, I don't think I would actually use all 5 of these in the same lance or star. One of these things is not like the other. You got 45 tons here. You've got 100 tons here. These 3 actually fit in pretty well. You could use these as the basis of a indirect fire lance or fire support star. You've got your long-range autocannons, you've got your long-range missile launchers, and then you have, for a more direct fire role, your large lasers are PPCs, and then for indirect fire you have the missiles. So there we go. Let's take a look at the cards that come in the box. All right, now what we have here are the cards that come with the force packs. You'll receive 10 cards in this case, and what you'll have are some pilot cards and some mech cards. These stats are for Alpha Strike. Alpha Strike is a, I would say, more simplified, faster playing version of Battletech. Some people think it's kind of like the Easy Button or the Bunny Slopes, but I like a game that goes quickly. I don't know about you, but I don't always have a lot of time to get a game in with my friends. If we've only got an hour or two, I would much rather play a quick game and get the game out of the way than to pass on a game because we don't have hours to play regular Battletech. People say, but math, they don't like Battletech classic rules because of the math. It's not really that hard, but this is great because what you have are the type of the unit, that's a battle mech, its size, target movement modifier, which in regular classic Battletech will be whether you ran, whether you jumped, whether you walked, how far. Your movement in inches. There are rules for hexes as well. The type of mech that it is, and those come up in the Lance organization rules. So if you're composing a lance or star of your own, you have the power of the weapons at short, medium, and long range, how much extra damage you can do if it overheats, and the heat scale for that. You have your armor, you have your structure, any special rules, critical hits are simplified. I love it. The Annihilator is pretty powerful, but it's very expensive at 41 points. Something that has short-range firepower of 4, that's pretty strong. I've seen 5 or more at times, but then again, you can overheat and do that. On the back, you have a different Annihilator. This is the Annihilator which we would see, as I said, with the auto cannons in it. This is the kind of Annihilator that I have when I play the video game. a firepower of 9 at short range, 10 at medium range, and even 6 at long range. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't need to. It's not using energy weapons. It's using ammo. It has case, which is cellular ammo storage equipment. Basically what that means is in the event of an ammo explosion, it's just going to blow out the back of the mech. It's not going to destroy the mech, because believe me, if you get an ammo explosion when you have this many autocannons, it's going to go up like the 4th of July. They'll be able to see that from orbit. Timberwolf. Here's the Timberwolf Prime. This is the one that you normally see in classic Battletech with the PPCs, the medium lasers, and the LRM-15s. It's a great mech. It's got the perfect combination of mobility, firepower, armor. There really isn't a shortcoming to it. At 75 tons, it's really ideal. So on the back, we have the missile boat, and this is probably something that when it's loaded with Omnipods has LRM-20s and maybe smaller weapons rather than the PPCs, large lasers or medium lasers here. Capable of indirect fire, has case. The Riflemen, this is the Rifleman with the lighter autocannons and or lasers. And then you have one that's got pretty much uniform firepower throughout the various ranges. The Archer, as piloted by Jamie Wolf, commander of the Wolf's Dragoons. He pilots an Archer, and he's pretty good with it. Here's the Brawler version. Now, sometimes the Archer will be fitted with shorter range missile systems, and of course it has the battle fists, so it can get in close and punch. This is not the kind that has the LRMs. This is the kind that gets right up in your face. It does have some ability for indirect fire. Here's the Blackjack. It's a sniper, autocannon 2s, fires from a very long range. It does have a couple of lasers as well. And this is just a slightly different version. Better firepower at shorter range. So there's the 5 cards that you get for Alpha Strike. Now let's see what we have. We have a number of different ones. Corrigan Holmes, he's a lieutenant in the Wolf's Dragoons. He's an Annihilator pilot. Gives you a little bit of background, and then gives you special pilot abilities, and this would be additional points cost on the unit and what it does. So this guy can select a unit within line of sight in 10 hexes, makes a piloting skill roll, and basically it's a taunt. And here's your piloting and gunnery skills. So generally in Alpha Strike, you can include one special character and you'll pay the additional points for it. But of course, if you're playing with friends, you might decide to go all out and use a number of them. Keep in mind that it does imbalance it. If you've seen anything about the Legendary Mech Warriors pack, Natasha Kerensky has a 0-0. The lower the number is, the better. So she's literally the best of the best. And a lot of the names that you'll see on these mechs are from Kickstarter backers who paid for a particular level of pledge to have their persona or their character named in canon. Not all of them are Mech Warrior cards, but some of them are. If you didn't see the Timberwolves prior to the clan invasion, it's certainly not something they would have brought on the field, and everybody would wonder, what is this thing? The reason that it's called a Mad Cat, if you're not super familiar with the background of Battletech, is that when it was first encountered in the Inner Sphere, Phelan Kell at the time was the first person to encounter one, and his targeting system couldn't decide whether it was a Marauder because of the body shape and the arm weapon pods, or if it was a catapult. So it kept going between Mad Cat, and so Comstar named it the Mad Cat. Here we go. Jamie Wolf. Basically, you have 2 cards for each mech. They said there were 10 cards, and I think what they meant was 10 of these Mech Warrior cards, and then 5 of the Alpha Strike cards. And of course, each of these cards is double-sided, so you get 20 different characters that you might want to use. So there we have it, folks. The Wolf's Dragoons Assault Star for Battletech, a game of armored combat, available through Barnes & Noble online only, barnesandnoble.com. Again, I don't have any information at this time as to whether this will be available in stores and when, whether it will be available at retail outlets aside from Barnes & Noble, or whether it will be available outside the United States. I'm super happy. This is something that was completely unexpected. They didn't announce that they were even working on it, and then all of a sudden, boom, orders were up. If you're like me and you really want an Annihilator, and an excuse to have a third or fourth Timberwolf. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, go ahead and please click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos, please click on subscribe. I'd like to be able to bring you more Battletech content. If there's something in particular you'd like to see, please leave a note down in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning into the Sagebrush. We will see you next time. Till then, take care.
Task complete. Shutting down.